Yo. Look at this cuteness that's happening down here. So cute, so cute. What does that mean, share now? Am I not in the group? Oh. Getting a confusing message. Just gonna turn that off. So welcome to my feminist rant. Cheers. That's way too hot for me to sup just yet. I'm just going to get straight into it today because that's the kind of mood I'm in. I was sitting on the couch just now. As many of my stories begin, I was sitting on the couch. What a surprise. Do you ever do anything, Georgina? Yes, I have lots of very profound and prophetic thoughts. And I'm humble as fuck. So I was sitting on the couch and my body was just feeling like very woomy. I was like, oh yeah, I'm probably about a week away from my period. So I like check my little period tracker because honestly, if I didn't have the app, I wouldn't have a fucking clue. And I'd just be like, why am I being crazy? Oh wait, my period's coming. Everything's fine. So sitting here and I was feeling into my body and I was like, oh yeah, like feeling super woomy and a bit voidy. And like I tend to feel most intuitive really just before I come on. And almost like prophetic, you know, these messages kind of come and I was like, oh, this is cool. And as I was sitting here feeling into my body, a very clear message came to me, which was validate the human. And I was like, And with it came instant understanding of what that phrase meant, you know, because it could mean many things. But the meaning that was gifted to me in that moment around validate the human was in the coaching industry and in the spiritual world. It's very easy for us to spend a lot of time in our higher chakras, in the higher realms, like visioning and, you know, receiving messages from source and all of that lovely stuff. But we don't often, particularly the people who are like in my world, right? So anyone who follows me, resonates with me, probably feels like they get gut punched back into their body quite a lot because I'm quite good at that. But we spend a lot of time up here. And last night as I was falling asleep, I realised as I'm about to say these things, I'm like, yes, the inner work that I do is fucking relentless. It's an ongoing process. As I was falling asleep last night, I decided to do some inner child work because that's relaxing. It actually was. And I went back to this inner child that I had been guided to go and speak to. And she was very afraid. And whenever I tried to ask her or like engage with her in terms of how she was feeling in her body, like what emotions were alive for her, what was she feeling, she started to just float up out of her body. And I was like, whoa. And so rather than trying to like pull her back into her body, I just said, okay, well, let's just float up as high as we need to float in order for you to feel safe. So we both floated up. We found these clouds that we were comfortable on. And I said to her, just breathe here. And she wanted to hold my hand, so we held hands on our clouds next to each other. And eventually I just said to her, just keep breathing, just keep lying down and releasing yourself into the cloud. Just get heavier and just feel, you know, you're perfectly safe. I've got your hand. And I let her control the timing and what was needed. You know, I wasn't forcing anything on her. I was just allowing her to guide the process. And we slowly, our breathing regulated and we just started to drop. And then we landed on the ground and then held both of her hands and we had a conversation. I was able to help her and then she went off to play and it was all fine. But it was interesting to me how like she literally left her body, and our normal inclination is like, get back in your body, you've got to get back in your body. And actually it was like, sometimes what I realized for my inner child is sometimes yanking her back into her body when she's not ready is not going to be, well, it ain't going to happen. She's going to freeze and she's not going to actually respond to the work that we're doing together. She's not really going to get the benefit of the healing because she's just going to kind of, one of the things I'm very good at is like, yeah, I'm fine. You know, it's like, I'm so good, like I'm fine, like totes amaze. And, you know, so I've had that my whole life, that ability to just be like, yeah, like I'm totally fine. And then to just kind of shut off my emotions and convince myself even that I'm fine, when in fact, clearly I'm not, because I'm like eating handfuls of crisps and chocolate and peanuts and whatever else I can get my hands on. It's like, but I'm fine. Like chocolate smeared across my face. I'm absolutely fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, no, I'm not feeling anything. Just shut up and pass me the fucking ice cream. And so when those patterns trigger, I'm like, maybe there's something going on here. Hey, Candice, nice to have you live, bitch. So anyway, so I'm doing this inner child work, and I realise there's no point trying to yank her into her body, because she's just going to pretend that everything's fine like I do, yeah? So I realised the key to doing this healing work with her was to let her rise up and leave her body as much as she needed to, but for me to go with her. So once we did that and we got to the clouds and we leaned back and we came back down, like I've just explained. If you want to know more about that, just go back to the beginning of this live stream once it's posted and watch, and I explain this little meditation I did last night with my inner child, because, you know, the work never ends. And all of this has led me to, I believe, this little prophetic nugget that came through today, which was validate the human. And I'm very good at validating the human in my clients. And I just think that sometimes, not to make anyone's style wrong, because everyone needs different things at different points in their journey. So I've definitely been someone who's been like, don't worry, everything will be fine. Let's connect to the energy of it already being done. And I'm still someone who, you know, teaches that way of being, that kind of law of attraction, like transcend the now, feel into where you're going. But when it comes to actually healing trauma in the body, you have to work with it. And so, without going into a full rant on that, I want to come back to the subject of the live stream, which is about how we have been educated to, I feel there's so much emotion in this for me, actually. I'm realizing how big this is for me and why I've been so guided to speak about this today. I went onto the tinterwebs, the source of all knowledge, and I Googled, because, you know, again, Dr. Google knows everything. So I asked Dr. Google, what's happening? And this is out of pure curiosity. What is happening in my body 7 days before I bleed? Is what I put in, right? Because that's where I am, like 7 days before my period, right? So I'm like, right, okay, great. Let's have a look. What's actually happening in my body that allows me to feel so like softened and receptive and open? And I was just curious, you know? One of those things that sometimes you just feel guided to do. So I kind of looked it up online, and I was outraged. And I was like, right, I'm doing a live stream. I'm livid. Because the first after like the first 4 or 5 articles, I was like, I'm not even fucking looking at any more of this. I am livid. It must have been the first 4 or 5, I literally, like, I was, like, seeing red at this point, not ironically, and I was like, right, I'm out. Fucking, the world is fucked, man. I need to go and have a feminist rant in my Facebook group. So, the first few articles, and I went in and I could see they were all, like, medical type things, and so I just went in and read, like, the top one. Do you know what it told me? It told me how to manage my PMS. That's how I feel about that. And I was like, you know what? This is why women get fucking PMS. Because we've been taught that we have to fucking conform to this, like, sunny disposition, or, like, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all, or shut the fuck up and sit in the corner. Like, go and bleed quietly over there and don't be too much of an inconvenience, or you're fucking crazy, right? And I'm like, how are we not being taught? Like, why don't I know? I'm an educated woman. I'm 37 and I still don't really fully understand what is happening chemically in my body 7 days before my period, which is why I was like, I should really educate myself on this just because I'm curious. So what I don't understand, and I know that there are amazing groups online. I know there's a really amazing group called, I think it's called Blood Love, which I actually know the ladies who run it, and they're incredible, and it's all good. And I know that there are resources out there if you go looking for them. But why are we not? Why? And this is kind of what led me to my main rant, which is we see, and I say we because I include myself in this, and I'm not proud of it, and I'm shifting out of it, which is why I'm like, this fucking awakening moment this morning. Like, no wonder I still fucking emotionally eat sometimes, like when I just don't want to feel the things because I've like had it up to here, and I'm like, do you know what? I'm done with feeling today. I'm gonna eat this cake. It's like, how do I manage to maintain a level of fitness and physique that I do these days, and still have like a little side hustle in emotional eating? Well, let me tell you, mindset, that's how. I get to eat cake and have abs, damn it. But I shouldn't catch myself saying shouldn't. Naughty Noel. Let me just take a sip and recalibrate. I would like to not feel the way that I feel about my body image and stuff like that. I would love to tell you I'm so fucking enlightened that when I put a few pounds on, I look in the mirror and go, oh, I'm so sensual and curvy at the moment. But actually what I do is I go, oh, fuck, man, I put some weight on, shitbags. And the reason I do that is because I know that when I'm in a place of true alignment, feeling good, doing what feels good in my life, following flow, trusting my intuition, saying yes, saying no to the things I want to say no to, I eat things that really support me and make me feel good from the inside out, and that then shows on the outside. So when I see that I've gained weight, I'm actually seeing all of the things that led up to that weight gain, right? I'm seeing the emotional eating. I'm seeing the workouts I didn't do because I excused myself out of them because I was having emotions or whatever, right? So I'm seeing all of these things, and then I'm kind of like, I used to, I'm much better at this now. I used to get caught in this punishment loop. And I've been asking for clarity around this the last few days. And that's why when this moment like dropped in for me, I was like, that's my answer. That's what I've been asking for, clarity around this stuff. And this is my clarity. And the clarity is we treat women's bodies as though they are problems that need to be fixed or solved. We're always looking for solutions. How can I lose weight? How can I feel like, how can I get this body shape to change? How can I like moderate and regulate how I feel and how I show up in the world so that I don't accidentally offend anyone? And this is coming from me. I'm a mouthy bitch. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't hold much back, but still like areas of my life where I notice myself like holding myself back or like kind of stepping back and witnessing before I should fully allow myself to engage. And I'm not ashamed to admit that, like I'm human. So when this message came to me today, validate the human, and with it, the meaning, which was, it's all well and good being able to navigate life up here and connect to source and understand that we're divine beings and that we're all connected and all that lovely stuff, right? But we are the universe experiencing itself in human form. So to not validate the humanness of our experience is doing a huge disservice. It's like saying God got it wrong. Or like the universe or what, like, I'm not religious. I don't believe in a Christian God. I use God just as a word, right? As an anchor for us all. But like, God got it wrong. He didn't get it fucking wrong, right? We are not wrong. We're not. We're fucking incredible. Humans are fucking incredible. And yes, I do get angry and frustrated when I see them not living up to their potential, and that includes myself. When I'm not really reaching the potential I know I could be, I get frustrated and angry with myself sometimes. But that's coming from this place of like knowing my infinite potential. But the fact is, we can only really fulfill that potential if we fully drop into our fucking bodies and use this incredible vessel we've been gifted to navigate the world. So yes, take care of it. Yes, eat well. Yes, exercise. But please, can we stop treating ourselves and other women like some kind of commodity, or like some kind of, like I said in the subject, like a problem that needs to be fixed. And this is not to punish ourselves for the times where we've wanted to better ourselves or change something about ourselves. That's not what I'm saying. Like, I enjoy the process of exercising and eating differently to experiment with how my body can change shape. I love seeing a new muscle, you know, and how that changes. Or bizarrely, when I know I've got my period coming and I know I do get a bit squidgier, I know that, so I don't panic anymore. And I am able to go, ooh, like feeling a bit soft and sexy. But there's definitely something a little bit fucked up about the fact that when I Google what's happening in my body 7 days before I bleed, I get told all of the drugs I can take and the foods I can eat and the things I can do to stop me having symptoms. Stop me having symptoms. Do you know what one of the biggest symptoms I get just before my period? This. Cutting through my own bullshit, seeing through the bullshit that lives around me, the veil between me and my tolerance for bullshit is very fucking thin at this time of month. So this is like where my sword comes out and I just start slicing and like letting go of shit that doesn't serve me anymore. If I was to medicate this out of myself because it was uncomfortable for the poor boys around me. Oh, so sad. So sorry that I've got a vagina. If I was to moderate this, right, then who does that actually serve? Who do you think it fucking serves? Men. Like, and I don't hate men. I love men. I mean, I really love men. But I don't love the way that we've been educated to believe that there's something wrong with us just because we're women. Like, it's so fucking crazy to me. I want to say I don't understand, but I do understand how it's happened. And that Googling today, for me to educate myself on like like the sensations I'm having in my body and what's happening hormonally, and how can I, the kind of like what I was really looking for was someone to say to me, these are the hormones that are peaking in your body right now. And what this can affect is the fact that you feel so incredibly open, and you can feel softer around this time, and you might start to feel more emotional around this time because XYZ's happening in your body. I was just interested. But the fact that I just got a list of fucking drugs I can take and foods I can eat and things that I should be doing to bypass the fact that I'm having a fucking human experience made me want to punch someone in the throat. So I thought instead of doing that, I would come on live, have a big fat rant with you all, drink some green tea. Cheers. Anyone else have anything to say? I see like all the men leaving the group going, she's fucking crazy. As I say, it's not that I hate men. It's not that at all. It's just that I really wish that women's bodies were celebrated. I just, you know, like not just for being a certain way, but just generally, like, and I know that they are in some cultures, and I know that some men and some women are really good at celebrating a woman's bodies and ebbs and flows. It just drove me nuts that people who aren't maybe seeking in the way that we are, right, that there are, you know, like even that there are kids out there and teenagers out there who are having these new experiences in their bodies and wanting to know what the fuck's going on. And the first thing that they confronted with when they do a Google search is, you're a bit broken at this time of month, so here's how to fix yourself. Like, ugh. Just that I love your oh, thanks. He's cute, he's got little boots on. There's a little, oh, my dog's gonna lose his shit because the door just, someone knocked on the door. So I'm going to have to go because otherwise my dog's going to lose his mind. Boys will be boys. I know. That's fucking mad, isn't it? It's all mad. Okay. The dog, who is male, of course, has decided it's time to end this live stream. Thank you so much for being here. If you've enjoyed this rant, tell your friends, get them involved. And I'm excited to do my masterclass on Saturday. So I hope that I will see you all there. Love you. Bye.